The heck? Hey, kitty, kitty. You just want to make people say, here, kitty, kitty. Hello. Thank you, Renee, for the heart meat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a great name, I have to say. That's so funny. Not everyone clipping me going, here, kitty, kitty. I moves like you're cheating on me. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, hello. Alright, guys, do me a favor. Share this out. Repost it. I still am being by TikTok. So the more you guys share this out and repost it. Moo is... Where is Moo? Moo is good. He was actually sitting on my seat. I had to kick him off. He's on the carpet right next to me. So he's doing good. He'll be up here, I'm sure. Needs to give his 2 cents. So, guys, let's talk about it. The whole Siders case. I have been seeing... Look, are you all with me? I have been seeing so much nonsense out there. So much misinformation. And again, I call it misinformation. And I'm saying that because you cannot speak something and make it a fact just because you said it. Right? Facts come with proof. Other than that, without proof, it's speculation. And there, people have to learn... Hey, Abby, to differentiate between facts and ideas, opinions, thoughts, speculation, all of that. And so I have seen people putting stuff out there as absolute, 100% truth. Give me 1 second, guys. What's up, honey?
You wanted me to fill out the whole thing?
Yeah. Okay. My daughter's doing some college stuff. I'm super excited for her. But yeah. Not exactly. So here, kitty, kitty. Listen, I'm just going to call you kitty because people will be clipping that. It'll be all over me going, here, kitty, kitty. But you're right. The problem is people don't know what the truth is. And it's really starting to confuse people. And here in the true crime niche, guys, we like to really find out what was going on, what caused something to happen, all of that. Thank you guys for the heart me's. I really do appreciate it. And... people, I think, when they're hearing things in lives, I need creators to understand that if you're going to speak true crime and you're going to speak about cases, then you're kind of obligated to make sure that your audience knows the difference between what you're stating as fact, hey, Misty, and what you're stating is just speculation and talk. And now you guys have all, here's Moo, you guys have all been in here with me where we just talk and shoot the shit. And we just, we're trying to talk it out to see what happened. That is speculation, right? That is having conversations, opinions, all of that. And then there's fact. Something I could sit there and be like, bam, here's the receipt for. There's no way around it. This absolutely happened. And so I have been getting y'all. I love you guys, though, by the way, because at least you guys will be like, and I know you guys do it to other creators, too, but good for you. You guys will send it to creators that are like, you feel like are credible. And you're like, this is what I'm hearing. Is this truth? Excuse me, guys. My allergies are crazy. I was in the yard. You know what I mean? And so I see you, Sam. And you guys are asking me, and I've gotten a lot of questions about, is this true? Is this false? Now, could something be true, but I have not have proof for it? Yeah, that's a possibility, right? But again, you can't state it's fact without the proof. So before we even get started, and if guys, how many in here have seen that new video of the house? People are asking me, can I vet that? Can I confirm it's 100% true? No, I wasn't there when that video was taken. However, the reasons I believe that video inside the house is true is because we all saw the footage from the yard. We saw it on, the news. We saw it on the drone footage, the pictures, all of that. and it kind of fits. Now, can I 100% vet that, guys? No. Do I personally believe it's true? Yes, it's up to you guys. Take it with a grain of salt, whether or not you think it's true or not. I, however, do believe it has validity to it. I do believe it's I do believe somebody went there, and they just went in there when they weren't supposed to and took that video. Now, that's not judging me. I'm not judging anybody for that. How they got it, I don't know. I don't know the person who got it. In fact, I can't even find the original. I was trying to credit before, and I can't even find the original person to credit it correctly. So I can't vet it 100%. However, again, because of a lot of the things I've said, I do believe it's real. So let's talk about you guys have all hit me with a bunch of things that you guys are saying you had questions about. So if you guys have a question about things being truth or fact, hey, Faithless. So it's on the last video on my page, shows the video, and I'll show it during this live again and go through it with you guys like we did last night on Miss She Shed's live. So we can go through that again. So those of you who missed it, we can talk about it because I love having conversations about it. Excuse me. So absolutely, Dana. So guys, do me a favor. Before we even get started, again, you guys know I'm being suppressed. TikTok ain't liking me. My content is quite a bit controversial, and I've been off for a while. So if you guys can do me a favor, you guys know numb thumbs. If you guys can tap. I received messages, but from people saying that they, I apologize. I don't have the money in the thing. I couldn't send you a heart me. Guys, nobody's ever under any obligation to send me any gifts or anything like that. It's appreciated, but never expected. But what you can do is you can constantly tap. You know what I mean? Like tapping. That helps push me out on the FYP. It helps all the creators. And that costs nothing. So I appreciate that. Same thing with my videos, guys. If you guys can go and you guys get a chance, watch my videos all the way through. Like them, share them, repost them. That also costs nothing. And so I really do appreciate that. You don't ever have to throw me a gift. It shouldn't cost you money to watch me. I'm here for a conversation. And they're appreciated. I don't want any, but you're never under any obligation to that. So please don't ever feel funny or anything like that. I don't sit here and look at my chat and be like, you didn't send me a heart me, ever. You know what I mean? It just helps push it out. But don't ever feel obligated, guys. I don't show up here because I make money off my lives. I show up here because I like the conversation. And that's the truth. So, now, what is some of the misinformation? I know you guys had a lot of questions. What is some of the misinformation? What are questions you guys are asking? So, what I know to be fact. Fact. Elizabeth Russell Siders was married at 15 years old. Her parents consented to it. I've seen the certificates. They had to go over to West Virginia to get that okayed. The judge was Nibbert, I believe his name was Nibbert, who signed off on it. And it was done with her parents' consent. That is a fact. Hey, what else is a fact? Let me see. I'm trying to think. But you guys have been hitting me with so many questions. As someone hit me up and said, was there babies buried in the backyard? That is not a fact. That is speculation. There is a little tombstone of the two babies, the conjoined twins. She did, in fact, have conjoined twins. 2022, that is a fact. They were born prematurely. As far as I can tell, they were not buried in a backyard. Now, let me give you the breakdown on that. Can somebody bury people in the backyard? Yes. In a lot of states, you can. Not all, because someone's going to come at me and be like, not in my state, not all, but the majority. How do I know? It happened on a property I owned up in Maine. Now, if you own the land, you can put bodies, you can put ashes, you can make little grave sites. You can. However, once you do that, that area becomes public access. It doesn't matter who it is. People have to have a right of way to that area, and they have to be able to get to that specific area to mourn. Even if it's my family and you don't know my family, everybody, the public has to have a right of way to that area. I know that because, again, we had some property in Maine. My husband's family was buried on the property. When we sold that area, that could not be, there had to be a separate right-of-way built, and the family had to know about it, know that that is public access. It is not private. They had to be able to access from the roadway because technically it was legally a cemetery. So yes, it can happen. No, I have no reason to believe those twins were buried in that backyard. We did see a headstone. We did see it was from a funeral home. I don't see any proof that there was a baby. These babies were buried in that backyard because, I mean, we've seen the drone footage somewhere along those lines. We would have seen that little tombstone. So I have no reason to believe that that is a fact. Yeah, so that, you know what I mean? So no, that is not confirmed. That is not a fact. That is somebody speculating that they think the babies could be buried there. I can give you 55,000 arguments right now why I think that that's not true. Can I state that's fact? No, that is not a fact. What else is fact? They do have birth certificates on all the children. Gary Siders is listed as the father to all the children on their birth certificates. Does that mean that he is absolutely biologically the father to all the children? No. Can I prove that at this moment? No. It does mean, however, that the children do have birth certificates and he is listed on the birth certificates as the father. That's a fact. That was shared by media sources, news outlets, all of that. I'm trying to think of some other... She was not trafficked. People were saying that she was trafficked. She was, as from a kid, she was sold to people. She was put inside of a cult. No, that's not true. Also, you're right, that was not their family home. They did not own that home that they were living in. That is not their home. What else, guys? I'm trying to think. Come on, Moo, you know your spot, dude. What else, guys? She shed, what else are you guys needing clarification on? Hey, Simone. I'm trying to think. Hey. Can we confirm that the social media accounts for the children are in fact theirs? No, I cannot prove that. However, I believe it because you see the children, you can see the home. I saw the home that they currently resided in, and I matched it up to the home that they previously resided in. I see you, Sam. So do I believe I saw the people, the kids' names, the names all match up? What else? The birth date, she put the accurate birth date in there for herself. I absolutely believe that social media belongs to the children. Can I confirm that? No. At the moment, I can't. That is just, I believe it is. That is my speculation, and I can't prove it, but I can give you the reasons why I believe it. Hold on, let me go back to you, Sam. You said something. They have not confirmed or denied they had power, just confirmed garbage and water. Correct. That is correct. The picture of Christine and the girl is not Chloe. I did not see that picture. She said, send it to me. But if I believe that if she had saying it, she looked into it. So I have reason to believe that she sheds correct on that. Kitchen light was on and ceiling fan was on in the video. Yes, it was. But again, until we can 100% confirm that that video is absolutely the inside of their house, we can't confirm that to be fact. Now, I believe it is. I believe there was. Could they have put it on after? That can't be. We can't make that factual. That is just speculation and hypothesis with what we see, right? It's an educated guess on what we're saying. We just can't make that fact. We just don't know that to be fact. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. Hold on one second, guys.
I'm so sorry.
It was well water when they had to have electricity.
It's asking for a tax ID, but I don't know.
Your social.
I already put my social twice. Do you have to put it again?
Oh, no. You don't. Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't have to do that. If it was well water, then they had to have electricity. We don't know. We don't know. I can assume that there was electricity. I saw the fan in the video, and I saw the lights on, but I don't know that to be fact. I didn't hear anything about a well busting, and I think that's because of the water damage. Again, that's speculation. I personally am a person who thinks that there was a lot of storms. It looked like water damage. Guys, that's just me speculating. I don't know that to be fact. I'm just going based on what I've seen and heard. Right, correct. You see, and again, you have to be honest with people. Like, while I may believe it, and I can give you the reasons why I believe it, just because I believe it, and I'm saying it to you all, doesn't make it fact, which is why I want to distinguish between things that are factual and things that are not. Because there's a lot of misinformation going on around there. Joey, we spoke with Joey Russell, Elizabeth's brother. You guys have seen him on. He stated that there was abuse by the parents when they were younger. I wasn't there. I can't state that as fact. I can just go by what he's saying and whether or not you believe what he's saying. As far as children eating vegetable oil, I don't know. I don't know why they bought vegetable oil. That's not confirmed to be fact. I can tell you from a nursing perspective why that would not be a thing, right? Because it would make you sick. Anybody ever try drinking castor oil or drinking an oil? It will make you puke. It doesn't sit well in your stomach. And for calories, if you're just looking for a couple of calories, thank you so much. I appreciate it, June. If you're just looking for a couple of calories, there's a lot cheaper way to do it. That's not vegetable oil. It makes no sense. But again, is it possible? I can't prove that. So that's, you know what I mean? It could be a thing. I just can give you some medical reasons on why it's not a thing. But again, we don't know any of that to be fact. I'm trying to think what else. So the children were kept in the basement. We don't know that to be fact. I did hear it on media sources, but then I've heard other media sources say something else. So again, we don't know exactly what room in that house they were found. We don't know the situation that caused all of this to go down, but I will say that I am really interested to find out what that whole situation was. It has not been confirmed. I can in no way confirm that that woman is pregnant. Currently, right now in jail. It has been going around. I saw Law and Crime speculating about it, and other people took that as a source and said, well, if Law and Crime is saying that it's possible, then it's possible. I have seen nothing that confirms that she is in fact pregnant. If I'm wrong, you can send it to me. I will totally take that back. I've been checking. I've been looking. A lot of us have been. There's nothing showing that that's a fact, and she didn't state it. The lawyer didn't state it. I don't know where people are getting that from or why they think she's pregnant. Well, I can see why they think she's pregnant. Scratch that. However, I have seen nothing to show that she's actually pregnant at all. So that is not a fact. That is speculation. And that's where that rumor came from. I do believe it was originally from Law and Crime questioning it, but it was never stated as fact with nothing backing it up. It's possible, but not confirmed. Correct, June. Exactly. Excuse me. What else? Tyler. Tyler is not her child. Tyler is actually her nephew. That is Joey's son. So Tyler is not her child. She got pregnant at 14 years old. She had her first baby at 15. That her lawyer stated that. I'm assuming they can prove that. What else? I'm trying to think what else, because I've seen people. So let's talk about how they even got there, guys. So, and I've read this. I cannot confirm this. I have seen documents of it, of them stating that they showed up, the police showed up to their house for a separate investigation. Okay? I do not believe it was because of the indecent exposure. There was a parallel investigation happening. Now, do have paperwork that shows that he was being investigated for a prior, I guess, I don't know if it was a domestic violence situation. There was a parallel investigation that was not the indecent exposure. Now they were there, they knocked on the door, they wouldn't let them in, and somehow they went back and got a search warrant and then searched the house, and that is how they got in that house and saw the children. Yes, so it just gives initials. I don't know that case was. It gives initials, but I can't confirm the person with those charges, and so I won't even put that out there. But there was a parallel investigation that caused them. Now, I'm curious to see what grounds they got for that search warrant. I'm not going to lie. I find that a little sketchy. Right, there were the 4 incidents of indecent exposure. I'm trying to think what else. That's a fact. How do I feel about Gary Sr.? Well, if he is in fact got some kind of dementia going on, and he has a history of, I believe it was a stroke, and he has a cognitive decline, then, in my opinion, he's a victim just like the children then. Because he wasn't capable of making those kind of decisions. So, whether or not he was an aggressor at some point, he became a victim, in my opinion. Because if what they're saying is wrong with him is true, and they let him out of jail based on these claims, then he is in fact a victim as well. So, I agree with you, Jamie. I really want to know how they got. Thank you, Andrew, for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm really curious to see how they got that search warrant and what the probable cause was for that warrant. I don't know. And it's sealed. We can't see it. But I'm really curious. So Mama Starkey says, Ivory, what's your thoughts on Elizabeth? Is she a victim or no? I don't think it's that simple, Mama Starkey, because both can be true at the same time. She could be a victim, but also be a perpetrator, right? Do I believe she was a victim? To some extent. I believe that the situation in her earlier life, having been a child when she got pregnant and then being put into a marriage and all of that, I do believe to some extent that makes her a victim. It makes her a victim. She wasn't, who really is ready to be put out in the world at 15 years old to make those decisions? There's a reason why the law states 18 is an adult, right? 18 is an adult. Thank you, Tara, for the follow. So I do believe that she was allowed to be in a situation that she wasn't ready for, and I do believe to some extent she was a victim. Now, as far as her being a victim of Gary with this current situation, and Gary Sr. and Christina, I don't know. I don't know that there's enough information out there yet. Now, I can speculate with the best of them. But going with what I've seen, there's got to be a reason for the multiple pregnancies, and it doesn't necessarily mean that she was a victim of abuse. So I don't know. I do believe she was a victim as a young child and being put in the situation. So both can be true at the same time. As of right now, if you're asking my opinion on the situation, I don't even know yet. I saw that house, and if I believe that house is true, and I do, then that was a lot of neglect to that home. Now, do I believe, from what I've seen, and again, none of this is fact, this is my opinion, guys, from what I've seen with the children's social media accounts, from what I see in the homes that they've lived in, they didn't seem to look like they did recently with these pictures and stuff. The children had clothes on, weather appropriate clothes. they were clean, their fingernails were clean, they, you know what I mean? I saw high chairs in the videos. I saw clean floors. Now, I did see a mattress on a floor, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's abuse happening, right? When my kids were really little, I just put their mattress on the floor so they didn't fall out of bed. So, I mean, they had mattresses. They had stuff like that. I saw high chairs. I saw them at the park. They were at the park swinging on the swings. So, I feel like something potentially happened in the current years that might have forced that to get out of control. Could drinking and depression have played a part in the adults when things started hitting the fan? Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't think they started off being abusers to these children, in my opinion. I think that something happened. Something dramatic changed. What's up?
Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay.
Yeah, they asked me if she should say should apply for fall as planned.
Fall.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? I believe that something happened.
August 24th.
That's fine. I believe something happened. There's night classes too.
That's what she's going to do.
Okay. I believe that something happened that may have gotten out of control. And then, you know, the depression. And then you got to think, like, she had babies back to back to back. They moved into that house with the parents. They didn't always live there, right? They moved into there with the parents. I feel like something happened. It doesn't justify the conditions of the home, in my opinion. Now, again, I can only go by what I saw in that initial room and the pictures. Now, the pictures and that room that we saw in the video say two different things to me. But again, that basement or that basement room thing, I just can't. Nothing justifies living in that. Not poverty, not depression. You know, there's too many adults in that house for somebody not to be like, all right, something's going on here, let's get some help. So if you were just continued to live in those conditions and didn't do anything about it, then you absolutely are guilty of neglect, right? And that's what I believe. I don't know that anything can justify. I don't see anything saying that anybody was chained up, that Elizabeth couldn't go out and get help, that they couldn't, you know, apply for services or call a police station or a neighbor and be like, hey, we're starving, my kids are hungry, my house is out of control. I think that somewhere along the lines, maybe depression, maybe drinking, right? We saw some drinking. He's known to be a drinker. I think things might have gotten out of control and it got too bad they couldn't fix it. You know, but again, that makes them just as guilty. It doesn't justify it, in my opinion. So I think that charges should be brought against them if that's the case. Regardless, if those are the conditions those children lived in, you can say one was a victim. You can say there's 4 adults living in that house. I'm sorry, something wasn't right. You know, there's just no excuse for any of it. I don't believe that these children were so isolated their entire life. I don't believe that to be true. Again, I saw videos of them at the park. They're on social media. You know what I mean? Now, they may not have lived a life where they went to school every day and, you know, went to Girl Scouts, but I don't know that I believe that they were being isolated, you know what I mean, on purpose, or like, I don't think the abuse was started on purpose. Thank you, Richard, for the follow. I appreciate it. I think that something just got out of hand. Because again, if you go by what the lawyer says, she was asking for her children. Yes, you can be poor and live in poverty and still be clean. Right. Now the question is, what happened? What happened that created this situation? Hey, Courtney, that's the question that I have. Now, if there are 3 big things that I want to know in order to form a really good opinion, I want to know, 1, what was the reason for the search warrant? Because then, in my mind, did authorities make a mistake carrying out that search warrant, that they needed to cover up something? Like, I always question everything about a situation. So I want to know, What was the grounds for the search warrant? What was searchable? I want to see that search warrant, know what it said. Number two, the 2 children that were sent to the trauma center. I want to know what their condition was and is now. Were they sent to the trauma center because they were being beaten? Were they sent to the trauma center because there was medical situations that nobody took care of? Were they just undernourished and hungry? Was there infection because of bug bites? It could be any one of those things, right? So that really makes a play as far as what kind of abuse they were enduring. That I want to know. And so those are 2 things that I want to know. The third thing is I really want to see the rest of the house. Because was the rest of the house in the condition that that basement room was in? From the photos that we saw, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't clean, but it wasn't like 6 inches of filth and dirty diapers and crap all over, and you know what I mean? I don't know. So I think there's too much that we don't know yet. Yeah, the bathroom, Jamie. Yeah, I agree. What makes you say, Mary, that they had no appliances? Because if you look at the video, it looked like they had pots and pans. But I don't know that we can say factually that there were no appliances in that house. Right? So that's not fact because we don't know. There could be a refrigerator. I don't know if there was a refrigerator or not. We know that there was a deep freezer. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to know if there was a functioning stove, a refrigerator that worked. We know that there was a deep freezer. We know the washer and dryer looked like it was broken because it was upside down in that room. The pipe was out. What looked to be a drum, and I can't say it was definitely the drum of a washing machine, looked to be out. So, you know what I mean? Obviously, clothes was an issue. Someone stated that he had a DV charge in West Virginia and no source of proof. I have not seen anything, and trust me, guys, I look. When I tell you, not just me, you guys all know you look with me because you guys are sending me the stuff too. How many of us have looked? I have not seen anything about a DV in West Virginia. So I can't confirm that there was any DV in West Virginia. I don't know where that's coming from. If you have proof of it, I would love to see it. However, until there's proof, that's hearsay. That's nothing. That doesn't, saying that doesn't mean anything because it's not a fact. Right, Kendra? I have looked. I have looked in the states surrounding. I've looked everywhere. I have not seen anything that confirms that. And I don't know, again, I don't know where that came from. She had an email for receipts. Who did? V. I'm not sure who you're saying had an email for receipts. Oh, I do. Oh, trust me. Listen, yeah, you guys are really good. And the stuff that I found, I really do. I got a whole pile of stuff. And it's wild to see. But I do. I have a pile of stuff and so that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'm saying something to be fact, you can ask me for the receipt and I'll show it. Because I do have it. I would never state anything that isn't fact. I'd never call something a fact if I didn't have proof that it was a thing. It doesn't mean, right, Mary, I've looked, we've all looked, a lot of us have looked. I know Sam, she, Shed, Jamie, I know a lot of you guys have looked. Nobody can find any kind of receipt that was an actual thing. I do know people are saying it, but I can't find any proof that actually happened. If somebody has it, please, but until then, it's not a fact. And shouldn't even be considered, right? If we don't know it's a fact. Yeah, you guys, I'm telling you, this is a chat of detectives. What about her mom saying she was pregnant? Is that proven? No, there's no proof that she's pregnant. No proof that she's pregnant. None at all. I've seen nothing. I've seen nobody try to confirm it. Nobody's confirmed it. What's up? No, that's okay.
Kelly wants to do. Which one should she choose? Health professionals.
Hold on, where was that? Yeah. So yeah, are we able to bring up the pics and the video again to review again for the ones that may not have seen it? Absolutely. Rachel, honestly, her lawyer would say something, I think, if she was pregnant. Absolutely, because Rachel wouldn't, her wouldn't her attorney use that to get her out? I believe so. Like an ROR thing, because she'd be high risk, right? So absolutely, I agree. Thank you, Unicorn, for the follow. I think that was your name. I appreciate the follow. But yeah, absolutely. I think that if it was confirmed that she was pregnant, that they would use that to their benefit.
Last one.
That's okay.
Doesn't say physical, doesn't say therapist.
None of these. So just do...
She can always change.
She can change it. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I would do... go with undecided. Can you show it? Yes, give me 1 second, guys. I will pull it up. Do me a favor, okay? Because I get jammed every time. You'll know it when I do play. If you guys can tap the hell out of the screen. Also, I would love to credit the person whose video this was. Unfortunately, I do believe it was somebody by the name of Tabby Nicole over on FB. I didn't see that. That's just what somebody told me. The video that we're using is somebody else, but I don't have her whole name. So I don't know how to credit this video. I haven't been able to find it again on FB from that creator, so I just want to put that out there. This is not my video. And I would love to credit it, however... Ooh, hold on, what's this? I think it's so funny that you guys... Okay. I see it. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me just pull it up. I keep downloading this damn thing. I should just save it somewhere. Trigger warning! I'm going to put that out there. If you get grossed out very easily, if you don't like bugs, if this is triggering for you, just a situation, I just want to put that out there. Trigger warning, guys. Don't come at me if you get upset about this. All right. Do I have a mod that can hop up in the box so I can shut the camera off and in between? I can't shut it off. You don't have to talk. You could just hang out in the box. Oh, there you go, Sunshine. Thank you. All right. That works. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Now, let me get something to prop this up on. Sunshine, do you know you're up here? Sunshine? That's so funny. I don't even think she knows she's up here. No, she don't. Thanks, Sam. All right. All right, can you guys all see that? Let me clean off my screen. I gotta stop writing on my computer screen with a marker. All right. Can you all see that? There we go. All right, now is the time, guys. Numb thumbs, please. Ooh.
Hello.
All right, I'll slow this down so we can talk about it, guys. I don't want it to get too slow because then I start feeling the bugs crawling up me. Sorry. Not sorry. All right, you got the gallon of milk here, right? You guys notice the Huggies diaper? I mean, the Love's diaper up here in the corner? That is a dirty diaper. Watch here as this gets pulled up. You'll see another dirty diaper up here. You got feces, poo-poo right here. And you got all of the bugs. The bugs are happening. So I know that I'm not the only one right now that feels creepy crawlers crawling up my arms and my neck. But yeah, so there's that. Now again, look at the walls. There's a baby doll. That's a baby doll with a potty. How do I know that? My kids have one. That it looks just like that. That's the only reason I'm saying that. So somebody apparently in the house had a potty, and I think it was the doll. Now, if you look over here, you guys know the hospital tables, a bedside table at a hospital. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but that's what the old ones used to look like. That looks like an old hospital bedside table to me. Now, right here, what it looks like is you guys see the styrofoam? It looks like styrofoam from some old pillows or cushions, maybe the outside chairs. And I'm only saying that because I've washed mine, and that's what it looks like. And it looks like they're using the crates as the platform, laying the little styrofoam on top and using them as beds. Now again, you'll see at the end of this video why I believe it's real. Again, there's a lot of electrical outlets exposed down here. And again, I don't know if this looks like a basement. It's connected to the outside porch. You have to go up these stairs. You guys see that dirt on those stairs? It's got to be inches of dirt. Now again, if you look, guys, here, let me try and back that up a little bit so you guys can see. So if you look, you guys see the pots and pans? It looks like the cabinet doors are off and they drape something over it. So they have pots and pans. They tried to hang something over where the doors are. And then if you look really closely, that looks like a couch. And I'll get a better view of it, but it looks like some kind of couch. That's a ceiling fan. The ceiling fan during this video is on. There's also a light up here in the kitchen that's on. But yeah. That's the inside of the actual, I'm assuming, house, like the actual living quarters or whatever. Then right here you have some pink sweatshirt hanging on the wall. It's not even the wall, it's just, yeah.
Hello.
Now, if you guys remember correctly, on all the videos of the drones, hold on, guys, once you guys are hearing sirens, because I live next to a fire station. All of the videos we saw from the news outlets of the drones from up top, we saw this backyard and what was on top of the porch from all of the pictures that they released. Everything back here matches those pictures. So this is the reason why I believe this video is true. You saw the yellow police tape on the door handle. You see it around everywhere. There's no reason for me to believe this video is not actual video. So that is why I believe it, because I have seen the drone footage.
Oh, can you pull up my picture?
Can I pull up your picture?
Yeah, on my profile,
Oh.
expand me.
Yes. You can't do that? Oh. Are you a mod?
No.
Are you a mod here?
I am, but I just don't have full powers on this account.
Oh. I'll fix that. But yes, I will expand you. See? So this is the picture from the drone footage. And this is everything that we're seeing there. Right? Now you also have to remember that this video was taken after the police cleared that stuff away. I just want to put that out there as well. But if you guys can see on her picture, you see the bucket with the rake and the, what is that, a lawnmower or like a thing? I do
The
believe Lisa B.
wheelbarrow barrel.
Yeah, that's it. I do believe this is somebody that just went into the home.
Yeah,
I
they
can't
did.
confirm. Yeah, I don't want to say that like I'm not, but I don't think this was police video. I don't think they were supposed to be there.
No. I have a video of the lady in front of the house, a clip of it, on this other side. But you can't get access through there, but she was in the yard, like the front door.
Yeah, see, so I do believe that this video is real, and this is what makes me think that. I'm gonna go through that one more time. I see people asking. Hold on. I'm gonna slow it down even more to see if we can get a better look at some stuff. It's playing. It's just taking a minute, guys. What's the white thing they are pushing? A freezer? What white thing they're pushing? So this right here is the door. It's the front door. They're entering the front door. They are opening the door.
The side door. The back.
The side door, sorry.
Yeah.
The back door. But they're opening the door. See right here? It's where the door is opening. You see all the bugs skedaddling. There's maggots there. It's gross, guys. Gross. Thank you, Claude. Thank you guys for the heart me's. I appreciate it. Guys, numb thumbs, tap, 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 please. Yeah, the door is pushing that trash out of the way to open the door. See? You see these outlets are all exposed. So I'm wondering if there was no electrical out here. But these,
Wondering if that was a mud room.
Oh, it could be.
Like an old mud room that they made into a makeshift living area.
Yeah. That goes straight to the kids' room. Actually, it looks like it goes straight to the kitchen. See that right there to me? This looks like it's entering into a kitchen. You see the top cabinets. You see the bottom. They did not own this home. They rented this home. They did not own it. But you see, it looks like the cabinet doors are off and they have something here just draping over. You know, here's a drawer. So it looks like you're entering right here into a kitchen. And then if you go around the side, it looks like there's a front room or a living room back here because you can kind of see the couch when it gets a little closer. See that right there? That to me looks like a couch. This white thing right here, it looks like a couch. That looks like a window. So it looks like the kitchen. There's a wall right here, and then it looks like it goes into like a living room. The ceiling fan is on in this video, and so is the kitchen light. So at the time this video was taken, there was electricity in the house. I don't know if they've always had electricity, just, you know. So.
Hello.
You heard that echo with the slow speed? Like, look at that. Like, and again, everyone keeps reporting something different. Nobody's really stated as a matter of fact what room. So it's whoever's taking the video is saying hello. Nobody knows as a matter of fact what room those children have found. And I've seen it reported that it was a basement. I have seen it reported that it was just some little 12 by 12 room. I don't know what room these children. I hope, for the love of God, this was not the room that the children were found in, because then at that point, it looks like they used the seats, Dana, yeah, as I mean the crates as seats or makeshift beds from the like look at the little cushions, the styrofoam. Let me see. Look at the amount of dirt, guys, on the stairs. Like, that's an awful lot of dirt happening there. See, I don't know what the holes in the wall, I don't know. See these styrofoam pieces right here? It looks to me, because that looks like a bed, but it's the same level and height as the crates. And so I feel like they're putting these styrofoam pieces on top of the crates, covering it with some kind of sheet, and then that's what they're using to lay on. I don't know what this is back there. I don't know if it's dead, alive. I have no idea what it is. I would think for like a bed or some kind of sitting. And again, I don't know what's up with, like, that's what's making me think water damage. Like, see, these outlets are all exposed. It doesn't make any sense that they would, for no reason, just start ripping out walls in a house unless they were trying to do some work. Now, if you look at the aerial view, the drone footage of the backyard, and I'll pull up some pictures, it looks like there's doors and windows. It looks like they were sawing some kind of sheetrock or some kind of, like, it looks like they started to do some work and then didn't finish. But it just, I don't understand why they would just at random rip the holes in the walls. It doesn't make any sense unless it was for a reason, or I don't know. I think, I mean, we do know the roof was new when we look at the pictures. Could there have been water damage? I know somebody did send me something that said in 2023 there was really bad flooding and really bad storms. Is that a possibility? Yeah, it's possible. You see, like, I don't know. Like, what is the point of all this? You guys see the brick. Like, well, I don't know what they were doing. But again, children, you got these wires exposed. I don't know. I mean, man, I don't know if I see kids tearing them up. Like, I mean, it's possible, I guess. That's under the house. So you have to go upstairs to get to the kitchen. So it's, yeah, it's definitely beneath the main floor. Because these are the steps that go into this kitchen. Right, it's the back door, but it's not level with the rest of the house. So it's like below the main house. Now, yeah, she said, I remember mentioning yesterday that maybe it looked like there was an addition. It's not a basement, because a basement is fully underneath the house, right? So like Sam said, it looks like maybe, hold on, the sound when she opens the door creeps me out, guys. It looks like maybe, like she said, some kind of mud room, some kind of like just, I don't know. But it doesn't look like it's a piece of the main house, right? That just looks like a mud room or something, but it doesn't look like it's the main house. But again, look at you have dirty diapers. Like, what happens to somebody where conditions like this become acceptable for their children? Something had to have happened to these people, you know what I mean, to feel like living like this is acceptable. Because even if they didn't live or use this piece of the house, it's still disgusting. Like, it shouldn't be anywhere. Just the crunching of the... Not even right, Lisa. Like, there was 4 adults, but there were also older children. There's no reason this home should be in this condition. There were too many able-bodied people to keep up the house. And again, poverty, just because you're poor doesn't mean you have to be dirty. So I just don't understand. What happened to these people where this became acceptable? Because you have to think something's wrong with them, because no normal person, I mean, abuser, like DV, no normal person, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, no normal person lives in conditions like that. And so, you know what I mean? Like, something had to have happened to all of them to accept living in these conditions. Happy, clean. There's nothing better feeling than putting on the new sheets and blankets to your bed, getting in them, and they're nice and crisp. I absolutely love that feeling. These people never had that. That's wild, or at least not in this house. They didn't. It's like they gave up, but then you gave up for the children as well. But what about the kids? You know what I mean? Like, you had teenagers. Like, there's no reason. I just don't see a reason for the house to be in this condition. You can't make it make sense unless everybody suffered from some psychological issues. Because if this is just abnormal, normal people don't live like this. You know, and you watch the show Hoarders, right? We've all watched that show. That show also makes me itchy. But when you watch that show, it happens because there's a psychological issue, right? There's something wrong with these people that makes them hoard, that makes them live in these conditions where it becomes acceptable, or like they feel like they need to. So, again, nobody can convince me that these 4 adults were perfectly sound mentally, psychologically, because normal people don't live like this. They don't accept these living conditions, right? Even dogs don't shit where they eat. You can't make this make sense unless there's something wrong with them. Now, does that justify any of it? No, but there's got to be something psychologically wrong with these people. Something, did a trauma happen? Did something happen? Because, again, you can be, I mean, maybe he was beating them, but you could do it in clean conditions, right? And if you were going to abuse kids and not feed them, well, then make them clean, right? Like, why didn't you do the opposite, make them clean and abuse them? What was to accept living conditions like this makes me feel like there are serious mental health conditions happening in this family. Right. It doesn't look like it would be hard. I mean, I don't know. I'm not scooping up old dirty diapers and bugs and like all of that. But but it doesn't look like anything wouldn't take the majority of us moms 20 minutes to clean up. I could have that room cleaned up and, if my husband shoveled that shit out the door, I literally can have that room cleaned up in 20 minutes. Like, even if there's pieces of the wall falling off or you took them down, that still could have been clean. And again, I don't care if you're a murderer. I don't care if you're a kidnapper. I don't care if you're somebody who beats his wife. Like, you can still do it in a clean environment, right? Like, so in order for them to accept living like this, and yes, it is neglect and abuse for the children, but what happened to make them accept these conditions? I feel like something significant in their life had to have happened for them to accept this. And someone said in the chat, like, they just gave up. That's what it seems like to me. And I'm not justifying the behavior, because it is still neglect of children. It's putting children in a dangerous environment. You have feces laying around. You got hepatitis. You got all kinds of diseases. You got bugs, all kinds of diseases. Right, Rachel, you could have also hung things up so the kids weren't, so had access to the outlets. And again, I don't know what the main part of the house looks like, but if it looks like this, that's just, I mean, all of it's unacceptable, but you guys know where I'm going with this. Like, what happened to even the children? Listen, if something happened to me and my husband, we didn't upkeep my house, okay? And we just decided that we were going to, be drunks and not clean up, and we're just going to sit here and just not feed my kids, and we're not going to clean. My kids would. Like, I have an 8-year-old, my 9-year-old, my 10-year-old, my 15-year-old, my 17-year-old. My kids would be cleaning up because they don't live in conditions like that. They'd be pissed at me. They'd be telling me off, but my kids would not live in conditions like that, even if I decided to. Right? It doesn't make sense. Something had to have happened. People don't teach kids anymore. It's cleanliness is just, you just know to pick stuff up. You know, walking on poop, somebody's feces and dirty diapers just isn't acceptable. And if you look back at the social medias, and again, that's all I got to go on, and people's word to the family. Now, Joey Russell, has no reason, you know what I mean, because he said to us when we asked him, what was their house like when they were younger? Now, if he was really trying to bash these people, he would have been like, no, they were disgusting animals back then. He didn't say anything like that. He was like, no, as far as I know, and I saw, their house was always clean. And if you look at the social media videos of the kids before they moved into this house with the grandparents, I don't see any red flags. I mean, they don't look like they are rich people, but their house looked kept. It didn't look
It was
disgusting.
messy, but there's a difference between messy and like filth, or being poor and not having some stains maybe, but not the feces and the urine and the cats and no.
And they had sheets and blankets on their beds. If you look at their social media, they had high chairs. The floor wasn't really dirty. There wasn't stuff all over the floor. Like there's nothing sitting there being like they lived like this. So, and what did they move into this house, Sam, 2 years ago? I believe it was 2 years ago. They moved into the house with the grandparents in 2023, or 3 years ago?
Or 2024.
2024?
I think so.
What happened in 2 years that made this acceptable living conditions? And again, it does, I'm not trying to justify anything, because I'm not justifying this situation. You can't justify this situation. You just can't. But what happened in the last year and a half? Well, it looks like there was some serious damage to this home. It looks waterlogged. If you look at the garbage in the pictures pulled up, that we'll pull up, it just seems like there was a lot of damage to the house. And I don't know if somebody got sick. I don't know if somebody became a drinker. I don't know what happened, but at some point in the last 2 years, I feel like this became acceptable. It could be a lot of things, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be one thing. I'm sure losing those twins in 2022, having another set of twins right after that, having all these children, him feeling like, am I going to be able to work to afford these people? I heard he was a drinker, and that's not fact. That's what I heard. His dad got sick, right? Like, a lot happened. I don't know. Did it become too much for them to deal with? How Christina, the grandmother, plays a role in this, I don't know her current mental health, but if they were living in these conditions, their mental health, none of them can be good. I went to the maps and looked at the last house. It has a red letter on the front door. Was it because that was 2 different apartments? So dementia can, but not all of them were demented, right? Like the 2 young, Gary Jr. and Elizabeth didn't have dementia. So, the dementia for Gary Sr. can only go so far. It's just, I don't know. 16 kids, they had some type of dementia. I can't.
What's proven, though, I found last night, is Elizabeth did apply for SSI disability in April of 2025,
Yeah.
and she did not get approved. And I'm wondering if it was for mental health. She was trying to get it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I wonder. I don't
I'm
know.
also wondering if that's why they weren't receiving benefits, because they'd have to work. In Ohio, they do you have to work as well to receive the benefits if you're able-bodied. And if you don't, you won't receive those benefits. And I'm wondering if the benefits ran out because they needed to get jobs and they couldn't because they got 16 kids and whatever the case may be, whatever. But I'm wondering if that's why she applied for disability, because then she wouldn't need to work and she can qualify for food assistance and stuff, because they stated only the grandparents were receiving state benefits.
So Carrie Lou, he was working with DoorDash, and that came from Elizabeth, and we know that because that's what Elizabeth said. That he was working with DoorDash. We don't know if he had a job prior to that, after that. I don't know any of the jobs that he held other than the DoorDash, or if he even did work at all. I don't know that. He could have had jobs. I just don't know that. The only information we have as far as that is the DoorDash. And we do know that the only two, that had any kind of income from the government was Senior and Christina. Lynn, whatever her name is. So that we know to be a fact. We know that they were receiving assistance. But nothing for them. And like Sam just said, she was denied her claim. DoorDash,
you guys can look it up online. It shows, if you put in her name in court records, it will show.
And the daughter, Linda, was doing what? I have a lot of questions for Linda. I'm not going to lie. Now, is it possible Linda didn't know anything? I guess it's possible, but I have questions. You know what I mean? How do you... when you look at that post on social media, it looks like it gave the impression that they were close, that she was close with her parents. How did you show up to that house but not go inside and see the nieces and nephews, say hi to your brother? There's just no way. Unless they did go into the house at that time. Because what year was that picture, Sam? Do you guys remember?
Picture was only from Mother's Day.
This last Mother's Day?
Yeah, that's what we thought, yeah.
Yeah, if it really was from the Mother's Day, I don't even know what to say. Because that was like 3 months ago. So, I mean, yeah, I just don't know. And then you have these people, Gary and Christina were calling up the kids, asking them for money for water bills, asking them for, the one daughter her family ended up giving them a car. If you knew your parents were struggling so much that you had to pay their water bill and you gave them a car, and you knew that there were children living in that home, you would not ask more questions? Oh, we only thought there were 10. Who cares? 1, 4, 10, 20? It doesn't. If you knew children were living in that home and they couldn't afford a water bill, then you got to assume they're out of money, right? I don't understand. I don't understand it. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, if my question is, like you want to get on people for assuming or all of this. Where were you? This is not appropriate. As an aunt, kids come first. Like I would be, if my sister was living like this with my niece, hell no. Or my elderly parents, no.
That's what I'm saying. Tiffany's Jewelry, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Listen, my siblings live in a different state. They live hundreds of miles away, okay? I would know. I would know that they were living like this. The second you called me up and said, hey, you know what, Ivory, I can't pay my water bill. My next question, knowing I have nieces and nephews, is, do you guys need anything extra? Do you guys have enough to get by until you get paid? You know what? Let me just send you something. Even if it wasn't money, I would have sent them a food order just to be on the safe side. In fact, I've done it to friends. I've done it, you know what I mean? Like, because you can't afford a water bill and you're that broke already, then I'm concerned. Something's not right in your finances, right? Something's not right.
That's like my thoughts, as Rachel stated, if it was
Yeah.
like this and you knew it as an aunt or as somebody that you say you love them, you would take those kids and help them then. You would get them out of there. I don't care. This is disgusting. The EMT said they had scabs and bug bites. They were malnourished. Come on.
Yeah, listen.
I'd do it for a
At that
neighbor.
point, sorry, at that point, you can't justify it. To the point, if your kids are getting bit by these bugs, I don't care. I get psychological issues, but at some point, like something's wrong. How do you know if there's no medical records public for the kids yet? We can, again, no one stated that was fact. What she just said was the paramedic stated. That's all we know. Is that the
No, I'm not
paramedic
saying it's
stated.
a fact. The only
Well, someone
fact
just
of
said, well, how
medical.
do you know that's for a fact? I said, you don't. All you said was the paramedic stated.
Yeah,
That
you
right
can
there.
go. There's an interview with him on YouTube. If you want to follow me and send me a message, I can give you the link to watch, and you can make your opinion that way as well.
Now, these are some, look at this. Hold on, let me turn my camera on. Look at this picture. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to her? What happened to all of them that it became acceptable to live like this with these babies? So two of the children we don't know that they were the babies. We don't know that they were the youngest. We just know that two children were life flighted to a trauma center.
The only thing that we know for a fact on medical is the conjoined twins. And in Ohio, death certificates and birth certificates are public. So, investigative reporter has pulled those birth certificates. She found 15 of them at the time.
I think they've gotten all of them. The last I heard, I was watching a news thing and they said they had all 18 of them.
Oh, okay.
Or six. Did they say they had? Yeah, 18 birth certificates they had.
Yeah, and then they had the 2 death certificates too for the conjoined twins.
Right.
I also wanted to state that, God, I lost my train of thought almost. Oh, the schooling. In Ohio, all the parents have to do is go to the superintendent. The superintendent signs a form stating you will be, and you sign a form stating you will teach them math, reading, all that stuff. And that's it. They're out of the school system. They're out of the district. That's your responsibility. And if they receive a diploma, you go up there as the parent and you state, okay, they learned all this, basically, and the parent gives them the diploma, not the school district, but they give them the high school diploma. So, and that's on ohio.gov on their education, homeschooling. Online schooling is through the district still, if they do online.
Now let me ask you. I don't know the area very well. What? Hold on, I'm going to show these pictures as well. Let me just get these pictures pulled up. Is it common for people in that area to homeschool?
What I've heard, yes. I've heard people, because it is a small town, I've heard yes for some. Now, my friend grew up in the county over 20 minutes away, and she went to public school and graduated and went to community college and everything. But when people are stating that it's poor, I remember 20 years ago her telling me that she never wanted to move back because her husband was stationed in Washington, and how poor and how much substance abuse issues there were in that area, and how many people did not graduate high school in that area too.
Now, I do want to put out there, though, I do know a lot of people are thinking that drugs are involved, and I completely understand that. However, that is also another thing that is not fact. We do not know that drugs were involved in any of this.
All we know is, and this is from what I've read online, is there is a very old DUI case with Gary Jr. and some traffic tickets. There's no substance abuse crimes that I've seen, other, his indecent exposure recent. And there is nothing on Elizabeth except for that SSI denial online. I haven't seen anything from West Virginia with the DV report. I am not sure. Typically, from what I can understand, I don't know if it's the same there. DV reports in West Virginia are public record. They just take the children's name out if they're part of it. So I know that's been going around, and that's not proven. If you have a source that has that, I would appreciate that. But that's been going around, and it's been kind of frustrating because then it spins this narrative even more. It's like people are trying to sensationalize it. I don't know if that's what they're trying to do, but it's already bad enough. But I haven't seen anything like that. Oh, and also, Gary is on all the birth certificates because Elizabeth did have them all. And since they are married, he legally has to be placed on the birth certificates. Now, we don't know the if they're like his biologically. In my opinion, I'd say yes, but regardless, because they're married in the state of Ohio, the legal husband is deemed the father on the birth certificate.
Right, and he was listed on all the birth certificates as the father. We just don't know if there's a biological relation there. There was no incest, according to anything I've seen. I know people think that this story is so horrendous they want it to be even worse. But I've seen nothing that makes us think at the moment that there was any incest going on. And if you look at the timeline of Elizabeth's pregnancy, I believe that they're all hers for the simple fact that it fits. Right after the other one, none of them overlap, none of them. Is that a fact? Do I know that? No, but that's why I believe that. It just fits.
I saw someone also stated, oh, they're very religious and that's why they have so many kids. That's not confirmed. I don't see them going to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's not confirmed, that they're religious. Their denomination's not confirmed either.
Yeah. It's not, yeah. And just because she said that the children are a blessing from God doesn't necessarily mean she had them all because...
yeah, my kids are a blessing from God, and I'm not super religious, and I'm Presbyterian, I'm not, like, procreate, you know what I mean?
Thank you, Susie, for the follow. I appreciate it. So, yeah, these are the pictures, though, guys. See, while this looks like a bunch of plastic. It looks like maybe recyclables almost that were. Jamie, you see the washing machine? Is Jamie still in here? See how the washing machine is turned upside down, guys, and that was the hose? I agree with you, Jackie K. I agree. This is not any way to live. But that's exactly what I mean. None of us would, because it just wouldn't be acceptable. So what happens to someone for this to become acceptable? Were these pictures after the cop search everything? That I can't answer. I don't know. These pictures are from the Post. I have no idea when or how they got them.
They seem legit. You know, it's...
Oh, they're definitely legit.
You know, what's interesting is if anything is AI, like I will fix a photo to clear it up, and I'll put AI enhance on my phone and it picks that up. And it's the same photo.
It'll say AI generated, but it's not actually. Yeah.
Yes.
I do that with my videos. Like when I do a green screen, I will, TikTok wants the videos to be super clear and super high definition. Then I will run them through AI just to make sure that they are. Sorry, my niece just messaged me.
And these photos aren't showing when you post them. They're not showing AI generated unless you are clearing them up and using the AI enhanced on your phone.
Yes.
On your Google pick photos.
See, again, look at that's a deep freezer. I don't know if it worked. I don't know what the blue all over the wall is. It looks like, so yeah, this picture is a lot clearer. So if you guys see up here, oh, can you guys see that? There is a line, like a clothesline, running across this room, and there are clothes being hung on it. So at some point they were washing something. So, you know what I mean? They were trying. Why did they have a clothesline inside? I got nothing for you. I don't know.
No dryer, maybe the weather. They can't put them outside. They didn't want maybe to know the kids were there. They don't want to hang a bunch of, baby clothes.
Yeah.
Also, somebody stated that they were getting cloth diapers. That is not confirmed. That now, Medicaid will ship you, I don't know about cloth, but I know that they ship, or insurance, it doesn't have to be Medicaid.
I disposable diapers because I saw the Loves on the floor.
Yeah. And the Dollar General employees stated they would come in sometimes and get diapers.
Yeah. See, this is just a lot of it looks like, I don't know.
And this is a 126-year-old home. So, add-ons. It says it's a 5-room home, but it does not state how many bedrooms. 5 rooms can be living room, dining room, that type of thing, and then 1 bathroom. On the county assessor website, I did confirm the square footage. It's like 1,382 or something like that.
So now you know what this picture looks to me. You see this brick wall right here? You see when they entered the other side of this room? It looks like, was there something behind the wall? Was there another, because the brick adds up. But this is just a lot of, I don't know what.
When I was a kid, I lived in a very old house, and our basement was unfinished, and it kind of, not like that. It was clean, but it did bring, my parents would have to make sure everything was sealed off, and we would put everything up in case water came in from outside, because it's unfinished, so there are places where it goes from out to in.
This just looks like a lot of wet garbage. What the heck is that? Do y'all see this? I don't know what that is. It almost looks like a fish. The furnace, yeah, I don't know about that furnace with being connected with all that stuff. A cat bone. Ooh! Oh no. Ooh, I can't. That's just, I mean, this I don't understand. I can't. Let me see. And then we have, this is the stuff that they pulled out of the house to get in. What is this? I still don't know what that is. Like scrap metal? That looked like a, I don't know, like a table. I was thinking baby swing, Jen, like the old crank ones. Y'all remember those? I don't even know if they're sold anymore, though. I bet you I know how old you are. That's a car seat. So they had a car seat.
Looks like a one that you can clip into like a stroller, so an infant car seat.
Yep, like a base. Like that one room looked like it had that car seat base in it. Let me see. This is the car. Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm getting itchy, y'all. Neat. All right, Sam, I'm going to leave you to talk. I'll be right back.
Okay, so anybody know the Turpin case from California, the 15 kids that were rescued years ago? Do you guys think this is worse? Because I watched something today, I don't know, some of you guys were in she sheds. And the lawyer for those kids stated this is worse than the Turpins. Now, theories and opinions only. Why do you think it got this bad with 4 adults? Do you think it was depression? Do you think it was laziness? Do you think it was substance, maybe? Or overwhelming? Or just not caring? I feel like it was almost one overwhelming and they just didn't really care, in my opinion.
This car is, yeah, that. Fill in the blank. So who's putting it on her?
Who's putting it what?
Someone just said lazy man is putting it all on her. What does that mean?
I think that's a creator. Is he the guy with the bald head? The white guy?
So Jackie, I agree. At some point, all of this is abusive, right? It was abusive altogether. I haven't seen anything that says that he was abusing her.
Oh, they're thinking Gary Jr. put it all on her, like taking care of the kids, cleaning, dinner.
Oh, that makes
type
sense.
of thing.
Well, I'm not going to lie. It doesn't look like she was trying either. Like, you have to, I know that we want you feel bad. The woman had a lot of kids. You know what I mean? And it's a lot, but we don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look like she was trying to keep up either. Like, you have to, be even all the way around. You can't bring emotions into it when you look at this stuff. And it really just looks like, I mean, she's just as responsible as him for the condition of this house. In fact, the grandparents are like, anybody at any point could have just stepped up, grabbed the broom, and started sweeping. And just because it's too many kids does not an excuse to allow things to get this out of control, in my opinion. And this is coming from somebody that has a lot of children, right? I've got 10 kids. And so that's not really an excuse. And though it sucks for her to have been pregnant so many times, that was a decision she made. Like, you have to admit, she decided to continue having, she could have at any time said that she wanted to have her tubes tied, or, you know what I mean? Exactly, Lisa. You've got to see your babies going through this and think, man, there's bug bites on my baby. What do I do? How do I fix this? You know what I mean? Like, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, that's normal. It's just a couple of flea bites and a rat bite and just whatever. It'll go away. Because then again, that's not the mentality of somebody who is mentally healthy. And it seems like they all had that mentality, which is really concerning, because I do feel like something had to have happened. There is nothing showing that there's a history of any of this in their family. And that's listening to many people talk about it, many people who knew them speak about it. They all are in agreement of one thing. This, the parents, right, the grandparents, had to clean her house. They did not always live like this. So, and people have said it about Elizabeth and Gary, like, that house wasn't really like that. So I don't think people are making that part up. Doesn't mean they're not. I'm just saying I don't think so. Let me see what the next one is.
It's one thing to have some maybe a French fry or two if you've got kids, rolling in the back seat, or a couple candy wrappers, or that. But to have to that extent in a car is absolutely gross. I mean, all you need to do is take a Dollar General garbage bag and make the kids put it in the bag and then take it to the trash can. Same with diapers. I have 2 toddlers, and I have one that is profoundly, autistic. And if they go poop, I take that, I put it every time in a bag, and I take it right outside to the garbage can, because I'm not going to have poopy diapers in my house.
Too. Yep, my granddaughter's here, and they get taken right outside. They don't even stay in my house in the garbage. I don't have diaper pails. I don't believe in diaper pails. It goes straight outside every single time.
Oh yeah, I don't like diaper shoes. I had one with my oldest, and we used it like twice, and I was like, this is gross, and we stopped because I didn't want that in my house.
Yeah, I'm not trying to change a big sausage bag full of crap diapers. I'm just sorry. No. Like, that's the car. It's just, it went everywhere with them. Whatever this problem went everywhere with them, including the car. Like, now we can sit there and say she should have been keeping up with the kids, but he should have been keeping up with his car, right? Like, who puts a cigarette butt out in their car? I don't know.
Somebody said, why would the older kids not say anything? Well, I grew up in a home not like that. But I grew up in a home where, it had some abuse going on. My mom and dad were not. And we were fearful to say anything to anybody. But I will tell you, my aunts and my grandparents, they knew something was going on, even if we didn't say anything. And later on, they basically sat down with my parents and were like, that's enough. You guys need a divorce. And they did.
See, this is just a lot. It's just a lot. That's just, I mean, it carries over to the car.
He door dashed in that possibly. Ew.
Does that make anybody else think twice about DoorDash now? Because if my food is coming in a car like that, you can have it. I don't want it. I'll go get it myself. Now, I'm going to say this. At some point, this yard was taken care of, right? It was mowed at the very least because the grass would be a lot longer. So, I mean, you can mow the outside, but you can't sweep the inside. Because this, even though this grass doesn't look like it was greatly kept, it was definitely mowed. Because that's not years worth of growth, you know? I will never DoorDash again after seeing this, I'm sorry. Because if cars can look like that and there's crushed cigarette butts and like, yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. It's possible, Megan. I don't know if they have arrangements where the landlord came and had it on a regular once a month mode. Like, that's possible. Maybe it wasn't even them that were keeping it up, but I do see a lawnmower right there. A ride-on lawnmower. And I don't know, but I don't have enough land for one of those here, but I heard those are a little expensive. I heard they're not cheap. Thank you, lovely, for the heart me. I appreciate it. You have a guy come out in your properties? Yeah. Let me see if there's any more.
I'm gonna hop off here and go lay down. I'm tired.
Okay.
But I'll be in the chat.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Actually, it's getting late. I may get off here too. I just wanted to come on and show that. Oh, show that. This is where I got the pictures, guys. County Press over on FB. They have all of those pictures if you want to go see them. Sunflower, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for the gifts. I really do appreciate it. I wanted to come on and I wanted to show that again. And I just wanted to talk about, guys, I will upload this over on YT. So if you guys are not following me on YT, it's Ivory Rosenose over on YT. In fact, I'm Ivory Rosenose on FB. I'm Ivory Rosenose everywhere. If there's an app, I'm Ivory Rosenose. I also know that She Shed, she's also She Shed Gossip over on YT. She's uploading her lives over there too if you guys want to catch those. And I will be live again tomorrow. Either one of us will be. Because I'm going to try and organize all of the receipts that I have about all of this stuff and put it out there. This way we don't help the spread of misinformation, right? We know what we know to be true and we know what's not true. Because all of the speculation and these rumors about incest and so was the father and, you know, there were pregnant kids and I've never seen anything stating that. That's not helping the situation, right? The situation is bad enough that it doesn't need any help getting any worse. And for the kids' sake, I hope it doesn't get any worse, right? And so that's the goal for the whole thing. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you to all the mods in the chat. Thank you, Sam, for popping on up here. Everybody who gifted, I appreciate it. And I'll be back on tomorrow, guys. And again, this will be posted over on YT.